This is QualityStocks. Today's Monday, September 27, 2010, and today we're going to take a look at Capstone Turbine Corp. This is a NASDAQ Global Market stock, trading your ticker CPST. Big drop right here from 90 cents down to around 75 cents. Starting to try and make a new high or low right here. We're going to look at this for a possible rebound, see what the indicators are telling us. Get a nice uptrend with the MACD and PPO. Histogram tells us there's a slight decrease right now. The signal line's getting approached a little bit more. We're still heading towards zero right now. Got a little uptick on Friday on the up day. So the MACD is not looking terrible overall for a possible rebound. Same way with the PPO coming off the pinch. Always want to see that PPO trending back towards zero. Not super deep. You can see it was only down at -10, and the ADX was only up around 40. But still a nice pincher formation. We're going to look for this to continue. If this does want to fail by some chance, what we'll look for is if we get a bearish cross here of the signal on the PPO, we'll look for this to make a new high or low and then continue to roll and trend back towards zero. If that happens, if this fails, support fails, as PPS drops down, we'll look for that second kind of loose pinch sort of formation. We'll look for a trend line to be grabbed again. We'll look for support to develop again, and we'll look for this to probably make a strong move from that point. But right now, we're going to pay attention to this holding support levels while this PPO and MACD continue to trend towards zero. MFIs, there's that big separation we talked about. Quick recovery of the 7, heading back up. I like this 21, this gold line is starting to try and make a new uptrend right through here. 14, obviously there was some selling that went on. That's why we saw this big drop. 14 caught back up to it based on the way it's averaged in. So it's starting to make its downtrend following the 7 right now. We'll look for this 7 to come back up, let this 14 catch back up as well, and see if we can get all these to intersect somewhere right here around 50 or so and move above that. Keep this 21 going strong as well. So we're going to look for that break of 50 with the MFIs. We've still got a downtrend going on right now in the accumulation distribution. I'd like to see this flatline a little bit more. It's given a hint of a curl right here. I want to see this at least start trying to flatline out and then make a curl back to the north side and move back above these levels. The taking money flow, which of course based on the accumulation distribution, has a nice look to it. Trending back towards zero. We want to see this break of zero. We want to see this trend line hold. We want to see this break of zero to show that buying pressure is coming in a little bit heavier than selling pressure. CCI holding right around that middle area. This just tells you it's trading at about the same levels it has been. Price per share is not doing a whole lot at this point. Just reinforces the idea this is kind of in a sideways trend. So we're not getting a whole lot of a read from that at this point. We can see it's got a little bit of a downtrend going on. We're going to look for this to try and make a little bit stronger move towards 100. Again, as always, by definition, the break of 100 is what Lambert called the buy point, where it's trading outside of its normal range. Full still, we're going to look for this to try and curl and kick back up over 50. See that slight break of it, giving a little bit of a hint of a turn right now. We're going to look for some momentum to come back into this play and see the break back through 50 is what we want to see. We don't want to see this continue back down, or it's going to fall into a holding sort of pattern. Tricks, which is always very slow, very smooth indicator. We're going to look for this uptrend to continue. We're going to look for a break down the road here of this downtrend line. It was kind of getting into a bit of a channel, which it blew through right through here. Now we got the bullish cross. We're going to look for this kind of giving a hint of flatline, but we're going to look for this to try and continue to move up and break this trend line. It's down pretty low at -1.25. So we're going to want to see this continue to trend back towards zero and establish a new uptrend. It's a good long-term reversal indicator. We want to see the break of 50 in the RSIs. See that we're getting a slight uptrend in the longer terms of 14 and 21. Want to see this continue. You can see again 50. I know that we beat this a lot of times into people's heads, but it shows you how difficult it can be to break above 50 with these long-term indicators. That's a bull chart territory. That's what you want to see. You can see for many months it hasn't been able to get through 50. We've got the 7 once again trying to go through and lead the way. 14 and 21 in an uptrend. We want to see that continue and let them get through 50 as well and add some strength to some movement on this chart. Bottom support way down at 62.2. See, it closed at 68. That still puts you right about 10%. We always say that's a tolerable stop loss area. But if this chart can't hold 65, the eyes need to be opening a little bit as to whether it'll hold 62. Bounced off of it here, right around it the next day, right around it again the next day. But 65 is a little bit better of a support area, and it really needs to hold that. If it comes down here around 62, we'll have to take a look at the indicators, look for a possible double bottom. But right now, this chart needs to be looked at as trying to make a new high or low and trying to establish a new uptrend. That's the importance of these candles at this point. It is holding a pretty decent support level at 65. Going to be some resistance right here around 70. See, it was a support level, wicked above it several times, even gapped up over it the one day, then closed back down. This is where that selling came in when we saw these sharp snap downs in the indicators. A lot of selling right through this area, not much buying pressure. Buying pressure started to trickle back in now. So we want to see 70 fall first and foremost. Then up here to make a new high. I'd like to see this get up here and challenge 75. It'll make a new higher high than this 72, which will start to continue this uptrend channel. But 75 falling would be a good thing to see because it was an area of slight support and then pretty strong resistance. We want to see that fall. And again, coming down right on top of that is the 50-day, which is dynamic. So in another day or so, that could be down here around 75, which will increase the resistance. So we're going to look for this first and foremost to break this 70 and then see what it does when it takes on this 75. Again, that's right around 10% gains, which is a decent gain for sure. But we want to see it get through that because then from that point forward, if it can move above this 50-day, create a decent uptrend, because of this drastic drop, real resistance won't come in again until up here around 90 cents, which is where ultimately the price per share would probably like to try and get back up here to where it came through this downtrend, tried to find a support level in this area. No gaps to be filled, but certainly not a whole lot of resistance from 75 to 90. So we'll look for volume. 1.7 million is still a decent amount of volume. We'll look for volume to continue to come in. We'll look for this to hit this parabolic SAR and send it back down to the bottom. And we'll look for this uptrend to try and be established. These are the same type of things that I'll be looking for with CPST. Again, this is merely my interpretation of the chart. This is Andy with QualityStocks. Thank you and trade smart.